You know, sometimes it's difficult to know what to say. We find ourselves in such unprecedented times that for many it causes anxiety, fear, loss of confidence, loss of direction, and we're just trying to figure out how on earth we're going to get through this. We see our politicians struggling to figure out how we're going to get through this, whilst in the meantime we have friends and family who are working at the front line in the NHS and in the care system, trying to save lives while they're putting their own lives on the line. And for me, they are the new heroes. They are the new stars. Never mind about film stars and pop stars and sports stars. For me, they don't rate anymore. And I'm hoping that when we get through this, that we reevaluate what's important in our society. And within that, I'd like to add in small business people. I'd like to talk to you about 3 topics. 1, setting high standards. 2, opportunity. And 3, reading. When I talk about setting high standards, it's exactly that. I didn't say setting standards, I said setting high standards. I think now we have to review what we do as a business and review how we deliver what we do, so that whatever happens, nobody can ever say that you, your business, your product or your service was shoddy. You didn't deliver what you said you were going to deliver. There must never be any compromise in our product or service, and that has to be the foundation of any business. So what I encourage you to do is look at your standards in everything that you do, your processes, your people, your product, your service, and make sure that what you're striving towards is setting the very highest of standards. Not here, but here. As you can see, I'm doing this video from my home office. I've got my suit, shirt and tie on, and I still wear my suit, shirt and tie when I'm doing video calls with my clients here from my office. Because for me, it's about setting a standard from the very beginning. Now, I know many of you may not agree with me in terms of what to wear for business, but I think a suit, shirt and tie and business attire of that nature actually sets a standard. For me, it sets a stake in the ground as to what I'm about, what type of person I am, and from that I'm hoping that people gain confidence and credibility. Now, it's true, as I was told many years ago when I was a young salesman, that it's not until you open your mouth that you confirm whether or not you're a fool. So this is not about not delivering what you do, and it's not about the ability to dress it up and then not deliver a direct service and a direct product and a proper service. No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I said a second ago was what we have to do is raise our standards so that nobody can ever say that we deliver a shoddy product or a shoddy service. But for me, it starts from the outset of how do we present ourselves to our potential customer. So I believe in setting standards here when it comes to the way that we look and the way that we come across. But of course, that does not negate our ability to then deliver what we say we're going to deliver. It's just about setting a standard. And for me, it is smart business attire. And don't get me wrong, there are opportunities when you don't need to wear a tie because you're in a situation where the team around you, you've probably been there several times, and they might feel more comfortable if you're just slightly more casual. I'm never, ever t-shirt and jeans casual, because that for me says that I'm dropping my own standards, and I won't do that. So it's not that there aren't occasions when dressing down isn't appropriate, but to begin with, I think you have to set a standard. The second thing I'd like to talk to you about is opportunity. See, what is the real opportunity that we have in front of us? Now, for me, it's not one that says, how can I make a fast buck? For me, it's looking at our business and deciding if that's what we want to go back to. So I've talked to an awful lot of customers over the past few weeks about what they can do over the next few weeks, and hopefully not too many months, that allows them to come out the other side of this stronger, more effective and more focused. For me, it's about looking at how you operate as a business. Do we have the right processes in place? Do we need to refine them, or do we need to change them? Do the people we have working with us the right skills, the right training? Are they in the right job? This is very much your opportunity to say to yourself, do I want to go back to the way things were before? Or do I want to come out of this leaner, meaner, more effective, focused on a set of ambitions and set of goals and set of targets that are going to grow my business and allow us to be more effective in what we do and how we do it? So this is an opportunity to do exactly that. Look at your processes. Look at your marketing material. Is our shop window the way that it needs to be? Is our website right? Is our paraphernalia right? Do we have the right leaflets, the right brochures? Are they saying the right thing? Or have we changed as a business? Has our product developed? Has our service changed? Look at what you are currently telling the world and see what needs changing. But within that, there's also how we present ourselves as a business. So yes, website, brochures, leaflet, but how do we come across? Are our salespeople telling the right message? Do our salespeople understand who our prospective customers are? Do they know what they want to hear in terms of understanding what their problems are? Because in selling, as I've said many times before, what you're trying to do is you're trying to solve a problem. And sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. And as I've said in my book, Stop Pitching, Start Selling, there is equal value in the only two answers that you can possibly get from a potential customer. And that is, yes, fantastic, we have a deal. No, fantastic, I'll stop wasting my time and yours and move on to somebody else. So have our salespeople got the right presentation? Do they understand how to discover what the problems are that a potential customer is facing that you can show them a solution to? So this is an opportunity to review all of that. To review what's our shop window like. Are we good at actually communicating to our customers? Do we understand their problems? And do we understand how to show them a solution? So take the opportunity of reviewing what you do. And you might want to start very simply. And it doesn't matter if you are a one-person business or 10 or 20 or 30 or 50. It really doesn't matter how big you are, in my opinion. You can do a very simple exercise. It requires 2 pieces of paper and a pen. The first piece of paper says this: what am I selling? Second, who am I trying to sell it to? Thirdly, how am I going to do it? What are the avenues for me to get my product or service to a potential customer? What is that process? What is my sales cycle for doing that? Have I got the right tools in place to allow me to do that? So, what am I selling? Who am I trying to sell it to? How am I going to do it? And fourth, and very important, what are my goals? What are my targets? So many companies that I've come across over the past 20 years of working with don't actually set themselves a financial target of turnover and profitability for the following year. It's so critical because you need to understand where you're going. And from that, you allow your salespeople to have a target too. And I'm sorry to say this, but salespeople will have to be target driven. And in proper sales management, it is for sales management to set those targets with those salespeople and then help them try and achieve it. So, what are you selling? Who are you trying to sell it to? How are you going to do it? And what am I targeting myself to do? Where is our business going to be in 12 months' time, in 3 years' time, in 5 years' time? You need to set yourself some milestones because that is what will drive you to refine your product, your service, and your processes. The second sheet of paper are the numbers. And business and sales is all about the numbers. So you put in there your costs, your overheads, and then your targets month in, month out, quarter in, quarter out. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you have to have a positive number because making profit is critical. There's nothing wrong with making profit. Profit allows you to run a successful and sustainable business. Profit allows you to invest back into your business for machinery, for a new website, but more importantly, it allows you to invest back into your people. The best investment that businesses can make is in people. So profit is critical to that. But profit also allows us to pay taxes, and boy, are we ever going to need them in the coming years. So make sure that your bottom right hand figure is a positive figure, and that you continue to have profit as your key goal, not just turnover. Take this opportunity to review your business. Don't go back to the way it was before. Come out of this lockdown, and goodness knows we all want it to end sooner rather than later. But come out of this knowing that you're going to be leaner, stronger, focused and more effective. And with that, bring your team with you. Even if maybe that team changes, because that's what happens in life. Sometimes we've got wrong people in the wrong job and you might have to take that view with them. But ultimately, you're there to run a business that's successful, and successful for all the right reasons. So take the opportunity to make that happen. And the third thing I'd like to talk to you about is reading. You know, reading does strange things to us. It allows us to, yes, lose our thoughts somewhere else. It allows us to learn. It allows us to think more strategically because we start to develop a different thinking process. At the moment, I'm reading a very interesting book called The Book of the Courtier. This is a book written in 1528, and it's a book that talks about how on earth a gentleman should appear and present himself in court. It's back in the Renaissance, and so it's a fascinating book as to how they used to think 500 years ago. And the strange thing is, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. It's 500 years old, but there's nothing new under the sun. I'm also reading a book on the sales profession and what is the future of the sales profession, and a second book on professions in general. What is the future of the professions? So I encourage you to read, because reading allows you to create a different mindset again, and allows you to start to think more strategically. And of course, reading helps with our mental well-being. So I encourage you to do that. Take the opportunity to read.